Alright, I want to start this video with an apology. One, because my video is glitching. It's glitching because I'm using an action camera with a Type-C cable that has that problem. It glitches, I don't know why. I have another one that doesn't glitch but it's too short. This one, it cannot connect this to the desktop, which is way behind the plethora of screens. When I say plethora, this is what I mean. So the desktop is way behind these screens. So I need a long cable, and my long cable is glitching. Also, I've not yet bought the lav mics for this DJI Action 5 Pro, so that the audio is close to me and it sounds clearer. I was looking for an audio cable for my mic, this one, so that I can use a sound card that I couldn't find. But you know, if I keep postponing to do this video, so that hoping that I have to get everything perfect fast so that I can go ahead and start, I might never start. So we'll work with what we have currently, and then over time we are going to purchase and avail the necessary gear for the production of these videos, and henceforth you are going to have me talk. You'll see me and hear me at the same time. If you ask your questions, I'll answer them here, and I'll also explain what I am doing. When we do these live streams, I don't have an end product for the photo I want to create. Usually I make different changes while we go. I can settle for something, then change it. You'll also get to enjoy the thought processes I go through as I create what I create. If I'm interrupted by a client, I'm going to switch off the camera for two good reasons. One, because I don't want them in this live stream because they did not sign in for it. And number two, I don't want you to hear our conversation because it's likely to be private, and this is supposed to be just a live stream about editing. So I might just switch off a camera like that, and also together with it I might also switch off the audio. Now you couldn't hear me, right? And now you can see me. So that will happen if someone knocks and I need to work on something else. However, the rest of the time you're going to see me and hear me as I explain things. If there is anything that I do that you do not understand, just reach out through the number that is in this video title, or write it in the comment section and I'll see it and I'll find time to respond to it. If there's any topic you would like us to discuss, both photography, editing, studio management, marketing, etc., light setup, we can always have those conversations. As we go, I intend to start these videos with a video of how the shoot was. So I'll try my best to record the shoot and then bring it here, talk you through the video, how we came around shooting and all, the light setup, the gels if we used any and all, the poses, and then we cut that to the real video, and then we begin to edit. We'll show you the results that are raw, and then we edit together and come with a final product. Even if we do not edit 20 of them, because sometimes clients pay 10, 15, we might just do the video of how I made it, 2 photos that were the results, and edit them to the end, then end the stream, and then do the rest of the video without the audio or whatever, stuff like that, so that the videos are not very long. That said, my name is Stanley Mitch, and this is Mastech Studio. Welcome to the new episode of Edit Like a Pro with me, Stanley Mitch. We are going to edit 2 images. Let me see whether I have a video for it. We are not going to say we will start and never start. We said we are going to work with what we have. That's what I just said. We're going to work with what we have. Let's see whether I have a video for the shoot. That one. For the shoot I need us to do. Yes, I do. This is the video. I'll mute it because one, it's noisy. I shot it with how many lights? 1, 2, 3. 3 lights. This softbox, the street box. This camera is tied to another softbox, a 120 centimeter on the left side, on camera left, and then this light here, which is a backlight. It's intended to rim one side so that it draws in some gel on her from this dark side. Some of you will wonder why it's dark. It's just how we are going to set up lights and so on and so forth. So first things first, I set up lights, take a number of photos. You can see I'm not posing her, I'm not asking her to do anything. The intention here is so that I can first get my lights right before we can begin posing, so that we do not waste a good pose in the midst of bad lighting. So I switch on each light at a go, test it, see the result. For instance, I'll show you a quick example. That was Saturday. Now, in the final photo like this, you realize that I needed to go for just plainness and neutralness and then strong colors. I did a gel that's red. You can see it on this light. I also did red velvet on the wall to split the plainness of the wall. I did a LED wrap, that's a drape. The wraps that we wrap around people during shoots, that's one of them that I used, so that she can also sit on red, so that we have red, 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 right? Like a triangle of red, then broken off by pure white, 50% gray, and then her beautiful looks, shape, and all there is to it. So at the beginning, you'll notice there are no serious poses to it, but then as we go, I'll keep adjusting lighting. You can see what the different lights are doing. Let's do the JPEG for it, that one. So this light is drawing a rim on this side with some redness. Then there's no light on this side, but the velvet here is showing is doing the redness for this side, though it's not shining on her. The redness below her is showing the redness below her, even if it's not shining on her. So I just wanted plainness and then redness all around her, just a new vibe and theme. And then there is posing, and then you can see I'm switching off some lights and putting on some lights. Now, I initially wanted to shoot it this way, such that there is only a rim light on this side, and then a key light that is a soft box that is 160 by 35 strip box, Godox strip box with a 300 watts SK300 Mark II light. But then I realized that the clients I have do not really appreciate shadows on their faces. So I shot both what I wanted, you can see. And you will realize that also light is not hitting the feet correctly and all there is to it. And so I shot what I thought I needed for myself, and then I shot what I thought the client would want. So I went ahead to light both sides with a 120 centimeter, and then I took all the other photos, paused her, showed her what to do. In the video, you'll see us doing the Lord's work. Now this is the 120 centimeter softbox. This is this 160 by 35 centimeter strip box from Godox. This one has an MS300. This one has SK300 Mark II. Behind it, this is an SK400 Mark II. So I only used those three lights. Where I'm seated, there is another light there, but it's off. I'm not using it. I'm only using those three. And now you can see I'm giving her instructions on what to do. And every time I take a photo, I review it. You can see there is a photo here, which is the result of that. And then if there's something I need adjusted, I talk to her, tell her where to put the feet, where to put the hands, how to bend forward, and all. Do not mind the distortion of my camera. It's a very wide angle camera. That's why I have a lot of distortion. That's why I have a giant hand, a hand that is bigger than the model as a whole. But now you can see, she said she wanted just one image. And when we are shooting, we shoot more than one image. Now, at this point, I needed to shoot from this side, but I wanted this slit. So I instructed her to raise her skirt, her dress, and roll it down once, so that the slit is just like that, so that the slit is exaggerated. So the word there I think is accentuate. And then I gave her the pose that I needed. And then I can show you the photos we shot from that. Yeah. Then we shot this series of images. And then we changed for another pose. This one, my intention is that she can arc her back, show the ass, and then show the thigh with a slit, and then make a beautiful face, and then we get it done. I noticed that the hair doesn't look great from behind because it covers the curve I needed, so I instructed her to move the hair to the front, and she did. Actually, she liked this photo so much that she picked it. Then we went forward and pulled down the dress, and then we did a few shots while she's standing. So I got flowers to sit where she was seated, and then instructed her to cross her feet, and then we did another series of images. And again, she loved these ones enough that she picked one. Then she came back, reviewed a few images. Always show your clients your work so that they can see you are doing a good job, and then if there is something you want them to change, talk to them about it. That will be the walkthrough. We are done with the shoot. Now let's go to the edit. I hope you've understood. We'll be doing this oftenly until we get used to the hook. Now, the images she picked were two of them, and those are the images we are going to edit. Sometimes people pick fewer images because that's what they can afford. Sometimes they pick fewer images because that's what they had planned for. So if someone picked fewer images, do not be angry at them thinking they would have done better. Or rather, you did so much work, they picked less. Just ensure that the money you are paid is equal to how much you charge. Do not undercharge your work. You better you better sell one image at a good price than 20 images at a throwaway price, because as many images as you sell, the more work there is to do. So if there is no good compensation for that, then you are not going to be happy about it. Sawa sawa. Sawa sawa. Now, moving on. Now let's drop in these two images into Photoshop. Clients choose. You see it's short. We choose it inside Photoshop. How we roll that is that a client picks the images she wants, and then we draw them to Photoshop and then take a screenshot. Now this is a screenshot of what she picked. The reason I have a screenshot is because of these two numbers, this one and this one. This one will be the reference numbers for the images that we pick. Hapo sawa? I might throw in Swahili words. That's what we do here in Kenya. I'll see to it that they are not content words. Everything that is content, I'm going to say it in English so that most of us can benefit from that. So let's import these two images from the mother folder. The mother folder, it has her number. That's why I'm not going to show it up. Okay, let me find a way to hide the number. Bring it here so that I can show you. It has 127 items. It means we did 127 images for her to pick two. You see? Put in the work. Put in the work. Don't be lazy. All right. Now, image 1 is 2986. 2986. By the way, I'm hiring. If you are a photographer that trusts yourself and you like to work from a studio, I would like someone to help me shoot so that I can edit more and teach more. I have a lot of students lately. I'm struggling with time to shoot, to edit and teach, and I would like to do more of that. Now, this image doesn't have much correction to do. I like it the way it is, except that the crop is a Dutch cut. This slanted camera is called Dutch cut, but it wasn't intentional. It's just that when you hold your camera like this, sometimes because of whatever reason it is, you do not hold it at 90 like this. You hold it like this, because especially I work with my right hand, so every time I bring it, sometimes I do not get it 100% perpendicular. So that slantness is the reason why that photo requires an adjustment. Some of you will wonder why I shoot with Nikon. You shoot with what you like. Now I'm going to drop the highlights and the contrast, raise the shadow slightly, bring up the exposure. Let me zoom in slightly and then bring back the blacks so that we can have some contrast. That's enough for me. Let's push in some vibrance, and then we pull back the blues so that the background is much grayer. Open it, then pick image 2, which is 2948. 2948. This is second image. I'm not going to make any other adjustments except the ones that I made for the other one. So I'll apply previous settings. Come in, see what I've done wrong. The blues are too much on the skin, so I'll warm them up slightly and then open up the image in Photoshop. I think even the other one requires a little warm up, a little warming up. That. I also realized something, that this red is burning, so we are going to adjust that too. So let's begin. The very first thing I always do, you make a duplicate. For this one, I'll need liquify. Anytime I need liquify, I ensure that it's the first thing I'm doing, so that when I select subject, the subject looks the way they should. The intention, like I told you in the shooting, was to have this back arced down, and you realize that I'm using a very large brush so that we don't have distortion that doesn't look real. So that was the intention. I intended that the back would be in, so that the ass is protruded and is overly accentuated. I don't want girls don't like these dummies, so I'll pull it back for her, not because she asked for it, but because I know she'll appreciate it. And now keep changing the size of the brush accordingly. And now I have exactly the image I had in my head when I was shooting. So I'll rasterize that image, make a copy, Control J, Control and J. Now that I have a camera, I can always show you how that works. Control and J is Control this and J. Let me see whether you can see that. Yes, it's Control and J, or Control together with J, but you press Control then add J to it and the image duplicates. When this glitching ends, when I buy a better cable, we'll go through all that, and you are going to, I'm going to have two cameras, one set right above my keyboard, so that every time I want to show you a keyboard shortcut, I just switch off, I just switch to that, show you how that is done, and then we go on. Now I want to do the correct crop, and in the crop I want first to straighten this image. So image, I'll click crop, pick a 3:2 flipped, and then rotate it like this, just like that, so that I know when it's straight. I'm going to push it down until that line aligns there, and then pull it back until this line aligns with the floor, so that we have horizons that are straight, not 100% straight, but more or less straight. Perfect. So then I will reposition the image for the composition I want. I need her at the center there, and then okay. Now I need to fill the rest, this outside space, with content using aware content aware tool. So I'm going to select that area, even this light stand, and I'm going to circle back from outside, so that that's the only area that is selected. Go to edit, control, content aware fill, I'm deselecting the part of the image I don't want it to resample. This green represents the part that it is sampling for it to create pixels to fill this area. So I'm saying do not sample her, just sample the wall and all, and create another for an extension for the image. When you're done, you press OK or apply. Yeah, like that. Now you'll notice, if I zoom in, that content aware did not do a good job here in keeping the textures and all. So we have like a number of ways of doing it, and one of the ways is using patch tool. Sample that whole area. This is patch tool. Sample that whole area and say replace it with an area below. Just ensure that you align it perfectly like that. That is one of the ways. Another way is selecting the area you want to cover the part with. Control and J on your keyboard. Push it up. Is it push it or pull it up? Pull it up. Then I'm holding down on Control to align this edge, because I want this curtain to go down straight. Sometimes photography is problem solving. It's not just capturing moments. Then you realize that it should be fading to darker, not this bright, because of how the light is behaving. So let's convert it to smart object, so that whatever filter we add to it, we can always adjust it. Control L to bring up the levels, and then pull down this lighting slider until it is as dark as it should. There, very good. And then we need a mask, so that we can brush out this hard area from below, so that there is a good blend down here. The brush needs to be 0% hard, like that. And now you'll see it's blending in nicely. Now there are these other areas which we can take out like this. And that blend is doing well, you see. Yes, that is my proposed way of doing things. That is more manual than it is to drag and drop and all, so that we don't dwell on that too much. If those other tactics, you're going to use them in other images. Control and J, so that we create no, this was no Control and J, this was Control, Shift, Alt and E. Then we take our stamp visible layer of everything that is now on my screen. This red is burning, this one. I don't want it burning, so I have like two ways of doing it. I can do it in camera raw. I like converting images to smart object before I add any filter, so that whatever thing I do, I can always go back to it. Come to camera raw, filter, camera raw, and then we come to color mixer, down here, color mixer, and then drop down the luminosity of red, like that. You see, now it's not burning. Correct. We can even go to saturation and drop it 1 bit, like that. Then press OK. Also, I don't know whether that affects the rest of the image. It does. So I just need it below here. So I'll pick quick selection tool and select this part of the image that I wanted that red to change, like that, and then add a mask to it. This icon here with a circle at the center is the mask icon, and then I'll feather it up slightly so that there's no hard edge where the two layers interact. I'm going to zoom in to see whether there is a problem around the foot because of that layer. Yes, there is. So I'm going to pick a brush, make it 50% hard, a smaller size, then take it out away from the leg so that the leg does not darken with the darkening of those reds. Like that. I don't know whether you call this a leg or we call it a foot. I don't know the difference between a leg and a foot. Which part is the foot and which part is the leg? So is what I'm correcting part of the leg, or is it part of the foot, or is it foot by itself, or is it leg? I don't know what it is. Whatever, man. Now that red has stopped burning. There was a problem with the burning. One, it's overexposed. Two, it is too bright, and when it's too bright, the eye goes to what is very bright in your image. All right, so let's get it over with. And the eye goes to what is very bright, to what is sharp, to what is close, to what is vibrant in color. So if we leave it that way, the eye will generally go to the red first before it goes to her, and we want attention to her, on her. So when we darken it that way, they have more or less the same luminosity. So your eye tends to see this area together with the girl, then it sees the red first. Let me show you what I mean. Let me zoom it out up to that point. When it is that small, you see you can see the red more than you can see the girl, right? If I make it dark, you see now the redness is not, the red is not as shouty. That's what I mean. It's the problem we were solving. Fine. Now up to that point, we are doing just fine. I want to merge all these layers from there to here. Control, select all of them and Control and E. Now this is the corrected area. First, this is like the preparation for the area where we are going to do the rest of the edit. We realize that there are shadows, and shadows are very important in a photo, but the only issue is where the shadows are. They should never be on the wrong places. Now shadows are here because one, the softbox on this side is using a grid, so it concentrates the lights more, and I've removed one diffuser, the fusion material, the outermost, so it drops a shadow when it hits her. The other one, the same, the 120 centimeter, it also does drop the shadow here. There is the light behind her, which if it's strong enough, it will drop a shadow coming towards the front. So those ones can be edited out. They can be softened when you are softening the background and all. But now let's continue. At this point, we need to adjust the rest of the area so that we complete this image. Sawa sawa. So we need the selection of the background so that we can smoothen it, and the flow. So we are going to use selective color range. We are using color range so that you can easily select the colors within the background that is found. You sample the color first, and here you use sample colors, or if you already had the midtones on it, you can select it if you think that it will do a good job. Let's adjust it, see whether we'll get a decent selection, because this is gray majorly. Yes, then fill that with a solid color that is luminous green luminous, so that you can see what it's doing. You see that area is now well selected. Now if we do select subject, the rest won't matter. So we go back to the layer that has the subject, quick select, and then select subject. If you're using the newer version or selecting from cloud, the newer versions of Photoshop, or selecting from cloud, you might not have these problems. Nice. Now I want to fill these other areas. So partly, let me switch this off. I want to make a selection, so I'll switch off that one, make another solid layer that I'll call a check layer. It's in luminous green, so that I can add all the areas that have been left out, and then I'll use the other one to do the corrections for the hair. Alright, so I'm using the pen tool to select this area so that it's precise. Is it so that, oh, because the pen tool is very precise, I need precise selections, that's why. Precise selection, precise. You'll notice that I'm not explaining how to use the pen tool. If you like a tutorial on how to use the pen tool, just request for it. I'm going to make one. So that you will understand in depth what I am doing. But in essence, I use pen tool when I want to select areas where there are curves. Places like this. I'm circling back from inside because that's the area I want to fill. I'm filling it with 0 feathering, and then brush tool, ensure the front color is white, select the mask, and then Alt and then backspace. It fills that in one breath once, and it's done. So I'm circling around to see whether there is any other area that requires my attention. This part of the background is going to be added also. So let's add it. We go to the background photo, the one that has the subject. Select this curtain because we are not manipulating that area of the image. We are neither softening it nor replacing it. We are going to keep it the way it is. So I need to select it so that I can add it to my selection. Photoshop did not deem that as a subject. It usually thinks that the animate the things are the subject. But the newer versions, you can even just point at what you want to select. Need a bigger brush. Yes. So again, I want to add this area There's a problem there. So let's first fill it. We go to the mask above, brush tool, white, alt backspace. We've added that area, but it's not as straight as we need, so we are going to use polygonal lasso tool. Select the area that you need to add. We're trying to make straight lines here for the areas that we feel were cut off and they were supposed to be part of this selection, so that we can fill it with green, which is our check layer. We are only going to use this one to mount a selection. The green is not going to cover anything. We are just using it to see what we are doing here. Perfect. Now the hand. I don't know whether the hand was covered in the other image. In the other selection it wasn't. So let's come correct it. Yeah, there are many things around there that requires attention. So I'm going to delete that mask from this area so that I can do my own selection and get everything right the way it should. So that I do my own painting, because then these bracelets are making it difficult for us to have a clean selection. So I need a brush that is around 80% to 90% hard, a small size that is not big. Ensure that your caps is not on, because if it's on, this brush is going to disappear and become a plus. So switch off your caps. Now I need it on white, and then I'm going to paint slowly. If you have a problem painting, just ensure that you increase your smoothness. It will help you paint. Note, it makes your brush very slow. So for me, who is used, I don't need like 100% smoothness. But for you who is starting in the paint job, you might need a lot more smoothness. Use a figure that works for you. So here I'm doing the Lord's work in selecting these things. You realize that I'm not painting inside, I'm just creating the frame, because filling the space between is easier than getting the edge correct. So I'm working on getting the edge correct first. That word is edge, not age. The edge correct, and then after I've created the framework, I can fill the center without much of a hassle. I don't even know what that word hassle means, but you understand what I mean. So I'm filling the centers, the inner parts, with no much carefulness, because I only need to ensure that it doesn't overlap with the selections I've made elsewhere. Like that, it doesn't go beyond that paint. Like that. Even when it's a painstaking process, just do it. This is what you need to make a good edit. If you ever mess up your masks, any background you add, whatever color you adjust, anything you make brighter, those edges are going to be very ugly. It's going to shout edited. Everybody is going to see the mistakes you made. Editing is hidden within good masks. I should write that down as a quote. Stanley Mitch says that a good edit is hidden within a good mask. Because if a mask is well done, you will not notice any other error or anything that was added or not. So we add this, I don't want to call them balls. like that. Let's add this one too. What are they called? Beads. Yeah. Beads. I want to select this area. It's going to be very hard for me, so I'm going to use the pen tool. You realize you don't just use one tool religiously. Use what works in whichever area. It will come straight to here. Take a turn. If you're already here and you're watching and you're liking what you're doing, hit us with a like. Zero feathering. Again, Alt backspace. Ensure that the color here is white. We did a problem somewhere here, so we are going to paint it in. We left an area out. Need like 4, I think, 4 pixels. Then we come and paint that area. Let's pick this area, paint it up. Already you can see that I'm using a mouse. Here on a chair, on the arm of my chair. This is the importance of having a proper chair for your editing, both because you're going to sit for long and also because it has working space. If I was using those office chairs that have no arm, or the arms are very slim, I could not run the mouse from there. But you do what works for you. So you can see what my hand is doing, and you can also see the results I'm getting. Now that area is well selected. So we are going to load the other selection, this one, because that is the selection that makes the hair right. Then use brush that is black on this layer to take away from this part of the mask, because this is all we are going to correct here. All right, so that it's easy for me, I'm going to press Ctrl and H to hide that selection effect, but the selection is still there, so that I can paint in very much easily and paint as I see what I am doing. Right, now I'm going to invert the selection like that. Again, Ctrl H, and then on this, then paint with white. I need to include some strands of hair here that have a color that is almost similar to the background. That's where the problem is. Also, the other problem is the resolution of my camera sensor. Deselect so that I can fill in some spaces here. If your camera has very good sensor, I'm using a D7200. So for people who are using something like Z6 with very better digit processors, it's likely to have better resolution for areas like this. But again, this is for intricate edits, people who edit a lot and make a lot of changes to their images just to make their clients happy. For everybody else who wants to do bare minimum, the obvious, then they shouldn't care about this. I'm going to inverse it, Control and I on your keyboard. Control and I is this Control and I on your keyboard. And then, so that I can zoom in and see whether there was something that was included that is supposed to be excluded. And yes, there are areas like this that require my attention. Smaller brush. White. Then an area like this, but then before that, let's clean an area here, an area here. Black. Take it away from these fingers. Sorry, when you make a mistake, you just toggle X on your keyboard. It will change these colors from black to white. Then you make the adjustments that you want. Keep changing the size of your brush accordingly so that it fits in the areas where you want it to fit. That way it's going to do for you a good job. Still need fewer pixels here. Let's say 3, so that it can go in here. More of it is done except this area. So we'll come and paint that area with green using white. Consider the mask that I've selected. We just want that color to seep in so that we have clean selections. Whatever we add there will show through the hair strands. We have a problem at the ear, so we are going to invert it. You can only do it from reverse so that it becomes an addition, not a subtraction. Like that. Always take your time to do a good mask, but if your computer can be faster or you're using a more superior software, you don't have to struggle like the rest of us do. I'm using Photoshop 2020 because it's the most stable for my Core i7. I've tried 2021, 2022, they keep crashing in the middle of my projects and I don't like that. Now we have the selection done right. So we press down on Control and double click so that we load the selection. Switch off that color, and then we want to smoothen the background separate from the floor. So back to the layer that has the subject. And then quick select tool, and then we just take it away from the floor like this. Then we go to actions. There is an action that is given for free by one of the creators from Nigeria or Ghana. He's called Brian Umo. This one, you play that one, an expansion of one, tick everywhere. And now you can see that the background evens out, even the graduation of shadows to light. Now we load the selection again, this time round with a plus on the quick select tool. We take it away from this side of the top so that we can do the flow separately. Run the Brian Umos action. Those glitches are very irritating. Like that. But what you can't see, I'll explain, so you'll hear it in words. But this problem won't last forever. Soon I'll go to town and buy the cables or order it online. Right. Now we have cleared the inconsistencies. Let's merge this down. Right click, merge down. Now we have cleared most of the areas that require clearing. Is it clearing or clearance? One of those two. Now we go to the subject. We'll deal with the background later. We already have the mask to work with. Let's keep it up here. Let's delete this one so that we only have one thing to get a mask from. Now we need to work on the subject skin. So we'll make a copy, Control and J, and then using spot healing brush tool, click away every large pimple you can see until you have a lot of evenness on the skin. We can use an action to do this, but preparation is important so that we don't have very flat looking image. This is something I like calling clicking away of spots. Clicking away. I've never known why I get that nausea feeling when I'm speaking to a camera while teaching an edit. I don't know why I get that feeling. Does any one of you get that feeling? Maybe some of you also do other videos in front of cameras. You get that dizzy, nausea feeling. Kizunguzungu. Feel sickly if not drunk. Because I wouldn't say high. I've never been high. I don't know how it feels to be high. But if I was talking to someone here, even if we spoke for hours, I don't get to feel that feeling. Maybe it's because when I'm talking to cameras, I'm shouting so that the Action 5 can hear me. Maybe you don't understand why I'm saying shouting. If I come closer here, you'll hear me better because the audio is coming straight from the camera. But now because I cannot place my head here, I need to be far away. But you still need to hear me in the midst of music and all. Then maybe that is why, because I have to shout. Maybe because I have to speak constantly. I don't know, but it does give me that very bad feeling. I'm still clicking away. You can see. If something extends, you just paint it through. If it doesn't go right, you just undo. On the keyboard, that is Control and Z. I used to say Control plus Z, then I remembered that word plus might mean you press Control, a key called plus, then Z. So let's use Control and. Right. We've not done much. Maybe you'll not see much of a difference because our skin is not one of the greatest. But you can see we've come a long way. So Skin is not just on the face. I've said in many other live streams that we are not makeup artists. Only makeup artists make up the face alone and forget the body. We editors, we retouch, or rather we make up the skin everywhere, even if it's on the knee. So when you are retouching photos, though online retouching is taught using just a head or a face, I'm going to use a patch tool to move this part. So you realize again, I cannot use spot healing brush tool every time. Let me undo, and then show you how much I have to paint. Control D. If I was having to paint all this black area, I need a bigger brush, paint once. You see, it still gets the job done. Except that I also need that small brush again. So this is too much back and forth. So when patch tool is good or it works, when clone tool works, do exactly that. I combine many things that I know will work. And the more you edit, the more you know which tool works for you easily where, giving you the best of results. I don't know why skin looks like this sometimes. It looks burnt. Maybe because of shoes or something, or or friction with an article of clothes you wear. Maybe sandal straps, all that, I don't know. But I see that even with my own skin. There are parts that are just unnecessarily dark. Some people have very dark armpits. Some people have very bright armpits. They look almost white because of sweat. If she raises her hand up and you have to pick a photo for her, then if she picks the one that she raises her hand, if the armpit was too white, you'll need to remember. Now, you remember the spots are not just there, they're also on the floor. We are editing the photo, not the girl. You remember, right? So if we come across anything that requires our attention, we address it while addressing the rest. I also need to say that I do sell cameras. I do drop shipping. I do camera reviews. I also do camera checkups. If you intend to buy a camera and you would like, or a drone, and you would like me to come fly it for you, maybe check whether you are buying something legit, tell you whether you are getting a good deal, you can always reach out. If you want me to go window shopping with you, at a small fee, I can go help you make that purchase. And that way you'll have bought the best lights for your studio, the best cameras. I've used so many in my career since 2012. And now I know. I started shooting in 2007 when I was in Form 1 with a Kodak camera, but with natural light and film. Film ni ile Wakenya mnaita negative. So then I did not know how to use strobes. That camera did not even have a hot shoe. I did not even know what a hot shoe was. But I shot with natural light in Form 1 in China's Boys. Shout out China's Boys. You guys are awesome. If you are in China's Boys anywhere between 2007 to 2010, you might remember my face, though I've aged now. That's when I started shooting. A photo was 30 bob, both shot, developed, printed, and delivered. Not like now. I multiplied that 30 by 10. Now it's 300 and we don't even develop it and print it. We just shoot it, edit it, and send it. the camera switches off when it's in webcam mode. I'll check, probably there's a setting that makes it go to sleep after 30 or more or so minutes. Don't even know how long it has been. Let me check. It always starts with errors. You make mistakes and then you get better. It always starts with error. It doesn't show how long it has been. So let's continue. I'm cloning a part here. I don't know why the clone is brighter than the rest of the image. Let's try that again. Anytime I deselect on the keyboard, I press Ctrl and D. Rather Ctrl then D. Not together, Ctrl D, Ctrl then D. Right. Now we've done most of what we need to do. Let's smoothen this skin further. We are going to use an action from Shazim. It's also given free on YouTube. The first figure is selecting the smoothness of this skin. So we'll pick figures that makes it really smooth, like that. And then I don't have definite figures to use. I use different figures depending on how bumpy one person's skin is. You might wonder why I have a pillow here. Might wonder why I have a pillow here. It's for my back. I need something to support my back. I sit for about 14 hours a day, sometimes more. So I need something to support my back. You need a proper chair if you're an editor, and you need also something good for your back. Sit well. Sit well, eat well. I need this one to be 0 hardness, so that it doesn't show hard edges in the areas where I pass by. When you are doing this, if she has eyelashes, avoid them. Avoid eyebrows. Avoid smile lines. If you must touch them, do it from a distance so that the smooth feather of your brush touches them from a distance. Not on them, but right around them. That's why you need 0 hardness, so that it becomes a soft round brush. Now you see her face looks better. Fantamagorgeous. Now the rest I don't need like 100% softening, so I'll do 50ish, and I'm going to paint on the rest of the skin areas. We said we are not makeup artists. We don't just make up the face. We make up everything. I need more here, so I'll make it 100. There's something about the eyes. The bigger they grow, the more wrinkled they become. Sometimes they have dimples on them. They are good in clothes. When you see them plain, they don't look as great. the slimmer it is, the smoother it is, but again, it doesn't look good in clothes. That's like an exchange. It's like a trade-off. You pick a big thigh, it will have dimples, wrinkles, inconsistencies, unevenness. But inside clothes, it looks perfect. I'm going to use this selection so that it stops me from painting outside. You pick a slim thigh, it's going to be smooth, but also it is not going to look great in clothes, so you pick your take. I need to light up this part so that the thigh looks full. So I'm going to brighten it, inverse it, get like 20% opacity brush, soft round, and then come paint it in. It's changing the color, so I'll use luminosity. This one will make the thigh shine. Now I'm going to blend it in by feathering. It doesn't have the color of the thigh, so we are going to add yellows. Yellows are found in the blues. There, and then a little reds. A little magenta. Now it looks like skin. And now you can see the difference it makes. Alright. Now the eyes. You're going to whiten the eyes. Let's create a group, call it eyes. Then inside it, we drop black and white. Then add a negative mask to the group and paint it in the eyes, because black and white is that thing that takes away all the colors. I need like 100. Flow. I change flow a lot of times when I'm editing. But accordingly, depending on when I need it. Like that. Then inside that group, I'm going to add selective color neutrals so that I can take away this grayness. And in the neutrals, I'm going to take away the cyans and then move away around the yellows until things are more white, and then raise this blackness. Now the eyes are white-ish. You don't need them plain white like milk. No adult has those eyes. Alright. Then I need something that makes the pupil darker, so I'll darken the levels, then get a brush that is about the size of the pupil, and then 100% hardness and paint those pupils black. Now that will make the eye stand out. She didn't have any liners on her eyes, but you're going to darken that area. It will make her look better. Very nice. Now let's create another group, call it background. Then copy this mask down, holding down on Alt, copy it down, and then create an inverse for it, Control and I. Inside it, we are going to look for a photo to drop there, a downloaded image. If you wonder where to download them, just ask. We are going to have that conversation. Let's use this one. We drop it inside the group, and then we change its blend mode to something bright. Soft light is good. No, it's making it brighter than the girl, so we make it that. Then we extend it so that the floor starts where floors are supposed to start. Yeah, like that. If it were in the background, it would be like 4 to 5% blur. It's too sharp, so we make it like 7. Is it even 7, or we make it 5% blur? We're doing good. Inside that background, we drop neutrals, selective color neutrals, and we make things have a contrast or a blend in color that will make the general photo pretty. Close the group. Now we need color lookup that makes the whole image, ties the whole image together like a color, like, what do you call that thing? Like a color grade, a blend, like the mother of them all. So I'm going just to scroll. I know the one I want to use, but we're going to scroll and stop when we find something that's awesome. Like this is very awesome. You can see what it's doing to skin. Like that. That's beautiful. Then we are going to add another one. Oh, what's happening? I don't understand why that sound is happening. It's like there's something I have to either escape enter or deselect. Oh, I've seen what is happening. I have seen. Now I'll make a copy, Control J, and then on that I'm going to add a V6. That's a color lookup I use a lot. I like what it does to skin. You see? And you know, girls like being light skinned. So I borrow this mask down so that it's only on her, like that, and then I double click it, bring it in back like 50%, feather it up slightly. Then I need to check whether the red below her is becoming too much. It is, so I'll put it in a group, add a mask to it, look for, I don't know whether you'll find that group that we used earlier to take it away from the red. Let's go back and take it away from that red. Yes, like that. But then you need to paint back the leg, the foot. We said it's a what? one of those things that it is. Now a big brush with an opacity that is around 20-25, not too big, zero hardness, so that things can blend in better here. Click once, twice. Yeah. Let's change that background for something else. The photo looks busy. Let's just replace it with something more plain. Drop it in the group. Let's change, do we keep it that way or do we change the blend mode to something less screaming? Make it, reposition it. You can keep yours wherever you like it. If you like it there, you like it at a corner, wherever you like, keep it wherever. But I'm going to keep mine here at the center. Now I'm happy with what I have. Done. Now I need like branding. To say this photo is a Mastech Studio photo. Turn it to white so that it's easily legible. I'm zooming in to ensure that I can read it. Yes, it's good. Now I export it because the photo is ready. When I'm doing that, I need to ensure that it's optimized, color profile is embedded. We convert it to sRGB. I'm exporting 85% quality, very high. I view it once for the last time and then let me create a folder here and export it. That image is done. For those who are wondering what we've done, maybe you joined us in between. Let me show you what it was. This is what 86, 26, 29, 86. What's that? What am I saying? And here it is. This is what we shot. This is the edit. You can see the transformation, right? I think the retouch is too much now that I'm looking at it, so I'll make it like 70. Yeah, and then I'll export it again. Now we do the other image. What you'll notice that in the next image we are going to copy everything we've done in this one, and I'm going to show you how. The only thing that we'll struggle with, we'll have to do for the other image is create the mask first. Everything else that we've done for this image, we'll copy it. So let's keep it on another screen. We'll come get it. For now, let's create selections for this image first. So Control J, Control L. I'm going to add a lot of light into it so that select subject finds it easy to select. I've rasterized it so that it bakes in that levels layer and then select subject. The beauty of this is that hair is in front of her, so we are not going to do that painstaking process we did earlier to try select the hair. For now, we just need to add all the areas that we feel this one should be part of the subject. Why did you guys leave it out? By the way, who started Adobe company? Is he called Adobe or Adolf? God bless that guy. He made our life so easy. He created businesses for us before you were born. What would I be doing if somebody did not respond to God's call? Make this thing. Sometimes we don't just need Christians, we need people that can hear from God and bring things to life. This one must have heard from God and made something that is benefiting the world. And by world I mean me and my children and fellow photographers. Smaller brush for this area. I need to minus so that this area is well selected. The mask is good, but we just need to do a check layer that is luminous green. I prefer luminous green a lot. It helps me see things when they are not right. This is just to confirm. Polygonal lasso tool will help me select this area of the curtain. Then I'll use brush tool and fill it in. Then brush tool, select the mask, white, alt backspace. Zoom out, control and minus on your keyboard in Windows, or command and minus in Mac OS. Right. You feel tired, you feel what? Hit a like if you haven't yet, subscribe if you haven't yet, hit the notification bell. When I am live, you will always know, and you'll come talk and work at the same time. Very soon I'm going to find a way to live stream while I'm photo shooting, so it starts from the shooting area to here. And for those who are wondering where the shooting area is, it's here. This is the shooting area. These are all the lights that I was discussing earlier. The 120, the 160 by 35. This has SK400 Mark II. This one has MS 300. Those ones don't have Mark IIs. Those lights are very poorly built. If you haven't bought one, don't buy an MS. It's a complete waste of your money. Don't. Maybe if I say looking away, you won't understand. Don't buy an MS 300. It's a complete waste of your money. It's very poorly built. It's plastic. This is an SK400. There's an SK400 below here, behind here. But this is the shooting space. So you'll find a way to stream from here, and then when we come here, we just edit. So that most of you learn from me how to first prepare for the shoot and all. We're also going to go through processes like how do you prepare when a client says, I'm coming tomorrow to shoot a baby bump shoot. How do you prepare? So that you learn at least how I do it. How I do it is not the only way, but at least you might borrow a thing or two, maybe a startup point. Let me inverse this one. I don't know what I'm seeing. You'll find a start point for yourself, and then you'll go tailor it to your own liking. If somebody says they are bringing a newborn, how do you prepare? How do you determine the set? Like, how did I decide that I just wanted all these reds and she's wearing all black? How did I decide? How do those dots come to me? We are going to have that conversation. But I need to say, you'll almost never have an original idea. Those original ideas emanate from the things you've been seeing in movies, in what, then at the back of your mind they combine to form one new thing. The one that you call original. But if you never saw, it's very difficult to construct that. Because we are not all creative. That's why not all of us have made bombs, or food stuff, or tissue, or toothpick. Nothing. We've not innovated anything. We're just consumers. So if you are a consumer like I am, I'm using more than one camera to film. I'm using more than one camera to film, audio cards, all that. I never made any of that. Like 90% of everything in this studio is bought, not made. Even when I have made DIYs, I just bought a few things other people made and came up with what I called mine, but wasn't mine in the first place. Now I have a selection. So let's fill the background and then do the rest. So we are going to delete this error, that copy, make another copy, rasterize it. We just made the other copy so that it can help us select and fill in this area using content aware command. I always use that process. Then when it does, it gives you a preview here. Merge down so that they are one. It's an area I don't like here. That one you can even use a patch tool. Replace it. It's more or less done. Let's smoothen the background. So we need the inverse of this. So let's first inverse it. Load the selection. We do what we did earlier. This time around we begin with the flow. So plus in the quick select, need about 13 pixels on this. So we can take it away from the top. You'll wonder why I said 13 and made 17. I said about. I've used the brush many times to know the size that mostly works. Yongnuo, I always do an expansion of 1. You can do of 3 depending on how bad your background is or how good it is. Like that. I should take a photo of that shooting space and use it to explain how I organize my shoots and light setup and what I'll do. Load again. Now take it away from the floor so that we can smoothen the wall separately. Again, Yongnuo, this guy is awesome. He made my life so livable. Now you see, let's merge these two, Control and E, merge it again, Control and E. Now you can see how smooth everything is. Fine. Now let's do the copying that I mentioned earlier. I'll bring it here so that you see what we are doing. The very first thing we have here is this lightening layer. So we'll bring it here. Let's take away this mask so that we can use it to brighten the feet, because in this image it's the feet that are having a strange color. They are darker or something. So we're going to make the feet more yellow, more redder. I don't need it in luminosity bwana. So you're going to make it much yellow, much redder, and then no contrast, or low contrast. More yellow there. Remember the selection I told you that is important. We are going to copy that selection down. Alt, drag the selection down. Now already the feet is selected. Now we only need to put it in a group. Press Alt, click mask so that we have an inverse one, and come back and paint it. I need about 20, 25, 20 or 25 of that brush, so that I have to brush 4 times to get 100, because there are areas here that are not as dark as the rest. So that the area that requires less, I paint once. The area that requires more, I paint more. There's an area here that requires more light, so we'll do that too. More light. I don't see it lightening down there, so let's paint there. Correct. For this, I needed the inverse. It's good. It's me who had not brushed that area. But let's brush this one twice. Let's load this mask so that we can add those effects to other areas of the body that require a little warming up of the skin. Because you can realize that the color here is not the color on the face. Maybe the face has been darkened by either the application of ointment or something to clear the pimples on the face, or the burning of the sun, because her body is much smoother. Nice. Now her face shines way too bright, so we need something that strains that brightness down. Now we paint that. Back on her overly bright face. Now I'm happy with the general look of this image. Let's tilt it slightly using the crop tool like this, so that she's more upright. Then pull it down. We need the image a little straighter, like that. We need her more straight, even if that hits the image. So let's fill in this area. Merge down. Now we have it looking correct. Let's go ahead and copy the layers we needed. This was just preparing the image for the edit. Yeah, because you have to prepare it. Now, we go to the image. We already copied that. We've copied, let's keep the eyes. We'll do the eyes separately. The background. So we have a group that has background. The only thing we need here is to copy this mask down and inverse it like that. You see? Now we have more or less the general look. They look like they were shot in the same place. Don't you agree? Yes. We could again either reposition the circle. This one. We could either reposition. What am I doing? I should do a. Could either reposition the circle to whatever other location that recomposes the image pretty or better, so that we don't have an exact photo. The only thing is that's different is the pose. Now we have general look. Now we are going to add the color lookups. We go to this layer and copy both color lookups there. Done. Now we are done copying. The last thing we copy is branding. So we place the branding up there. Now we do the color lookups. Let's push them up to the top like that, so that they are not affected by any of the masks below here. We are closing down the masks. You see, now her skin is very flawless. It's very similar. It has similar brightness, similar warmth and all, right? It means now if I darken anything, they darken together like this. See, if I darken anything, they darken together, and that's very positive. Now, we'll do the eyes in a few. I'm looking for whether there is anything else we need to do. We might need to click away things from both the floor and the girl. So we'll come to the layer that has the subject. I like to keep my adjustments layers above here. All these are adjustment layers. Even if I switch them off, we'll go back to everything we had, right? And then the subject below. So anything I want to do on the subject, I come to the layer that has the subject. So I'll make a copy. I make copies so that if I make mistakes, I can always salvage myself. It's too much magenta on the foot. We are going to deal with that in a few. Let's do that now. Selective color reds, we take away magentas. Then inverse it and then paint down here. How I know which adjustment layer does what is a lot of practice and consistent editing. I edit a lot. I started this in 2016, serious editing. So that is 4 + 5, roughly 9 years. I'm just taking away the magentas from the areas that are very magenta-ish. Then I'm going to feather it up so that it blends nicely. Yeah, looks better. Let's continue. The reason I always correct something when I see a mistake is because sometimes I tell myself I'll come back, but I only saw it because I zoomed in. So when I zoom out to see what I've done, I forget that there was something I left behind and said I would correct. I end up exporting photos with an error and seeing them posted by my clients with that error, and I feel so bad about it, especially now that I know I had seen it. And because solving it fast does not cancel my workflows or stop me from doing whatever it is I had in my mind, so I always go for that. This is our second image. I need to also reiterate myself and say, if you do a photo, now I'm thinking this red is too much, it's oversaturated, you're going to deal with it in a few. It must be one of the color lookups. If you edit someone or photos of someone, even if they are photos of a wedding, except when you completely can't, because maybe it was very cold in the morning and misty and all, and you want to keep that cold feel, and maybe later in the night you also want to keep that dark cold feel because the event went up to 6 or past 6 in the evening. The subject should have consistent face, consistent skin, and the gown should look consistently white or cream. Do not perfectly edit one photo. Just the one you are going to mount maybe, and leave the rest, because those rests are the ones that people are going to post. The group photos people are going to post because they were there as gents, maids for that wedding. So it's very important. I'm clicking away using the spot healing brush tool. I'm clicking away all these pimples. This is removing, it's refusing to go away because the area around it that is sampling has that problem. If we clear the area around it, we come back and take it away, it will. You see? So try your best in your edits. Don't output 6 images where the girl looks like 6 different girls. Maybe because one is over retouched. Another one she's brighter, another one she's browner, another one she's darker. Some of her feet are not uniform, some of her skin tones are not the same. They might not complain, but that is not excellent work. Excellence is consistent, similar results. Take your time and produce those results. I don't like the whiteness of these highlights, so I'm going to color them. Again, selective color whites. Let me show you how. Selective color, white. I strain them first with blacks, then put some color in there. That way they stop looking black. They stop looking white. They now have the color of the skin. White highlights are very ugly on a brown skin or dark skin, unless the photo is black and white. So when you can, just color your highlights. Good enough. Next step, eyes. Let's copy eyes so that I can keep my word, because I said you are going to copy things down. Then delete the mask and add another one, negative mask. While pressing down Alt, click mask, and then paint in using 100% flow. That effect on the eyes, the eye white. It's called the sclera. Whiten the sclera. Do not whiten the pupil. If it's brown, leave it brown. Leave it brown. If it's black, leave it black, as you should. I would have known that action cameras can be very nice webcams, and they are small. Their batteries last forever, especially now that while it's still working, it's also charging. Nabamba, sindio? Perfect. Now we do the smoothing of that skin using the Shazim action. I'll do a video of manual smoothing of skin. I don't want to call it retouching because I have not touched it first, so that I can retouch. Let's call it smoothing for now. For people who are interested in learning that, but as we go with aftershoot, a photo, edit for me, what is that other thing, Retouch Academy, all those plugins are taking away the need for you to learn manual edits, because even if you learn them, unless you're learning them so that one day you can teach, if you're a teacher like me, then you just need to teach someone what it does so that they understand the basic concept, then give them an action or a plugin that does it for them. The whole idea of editing is to create more perfect work than our cameras could. It's not editing for the sake of it or to find another place to put our time. It's not like we don't have better uses for our time. I would be busy singing and posting on TikTok. I would also be busy teaching the relight setup. I would also be busy learning and watching other people's shoot so that I get ideas and concept to shoot my upcoming shoots. I would be scrolling down Pinterest to see what other people have done. But this is also necessary because I need to deliver perfect work. So I might teach, I'll create a video for people who are interested in learning that. But do not stick yourself to manual so that you look like a god. It is not a competition of how long you took to edit. Actually, the shorter time you take to edit, the better. Clients want excellent work and they want it fast. Still think the highlights are very bright. So we are going to select highlights. That is Control-Shift-Alt-2. And then 2 again. Then I add curves and pull it down. You're just darkening the highlights. They are too bright. Then we feather them so that we have a good blend. Now we reduce its opacity slightly until you feel the colors are good. I think somewhere there it's acceptable, around 70-ish. We are done. There is a contrast we added somewhere, don't remember where. This one, that was good for the subject but not for the background. So we'll pull down this mask so that it's restrained to the subject only, and then feather it like 2. Yes, like that. Now if I pull back the image we had earlier, you can see more or less these images were shot at the same place and is more or less the same person, but this one is more magenta than this one. So the only thing we need to do is make her yellower. So selective color reds and take away magentas, reds, and then pull back magentas like that, push in the yellows. Now they look the same. Now you see, apart from editing, smoothening, adjusting backgrounds, it's also in our best interest to make sure that there is consistent in the look, the environment, the colors, the skin tones, all across the body, and so that when we send the client, if you made them small waist, they are small waists across the board. I've seen a problem near between the hand and the waist. We're going to address that, but let's first export it. Yes, there's a part I did not mask. For some of you who cannot see that problem, don't worry. To bele bele. So zoom it. This part is the one I'm talking about. So because I want the waist small, I'll pick a brush, a tool here, click, make a curve from down here like that, because that's an area I want to I don't even know if you're Nigerian. I've had to bele from Ankoshai. If you know the meaning of that line, write it in the comment section before I call people idiots, thinking that it's just a fun sentence to throw around. It's in almost all his videos. To bele. I'm not going to advise you again. Nigerians have very nice content creators and actors. Right above, I'll do a new layer. No, let's first do the one below. Clone tool. We clone part of the background. Can paint it here. Let's see whether it looks good. Yes, it does. Now we just need to add that to every mask. So on this mask, Alt, we need to make it white. Then on this mask, we need to make it black. Which other mask? None other. Just like that. That area is sorted. Nice. Now we export again, and our edits are done. We're going to check whether that red she's sitting on is overly exposed. If yes, then we are going to do what we did for the other image area on. Right. Yes, it is. So we are going to add this. Okay, let's start with mask. We load this one and then come back here with a brush, black, take it away from, we need it harder, take it away from this red so that it stops burning. We need more detail there. You can see now by doing that, this is too high. It's making my brush very slow. My strokes very slow. Now you see we can see details in that red drip. There are people who call them drips because of how they drip. There are people who call them wraps because of the purpose we use them for, wrapping people during their birthdays and photo shoots and baby bump shoots. Whatever you call them, doesn't matter. Right, now we finish up this part. Yes, and now it doesn't burn out. Let me show you the difference. This is the difference. I'm pressing shift. You see, some of you will prefer this, but I don't, because I said I want attention on the girl. The red shouldn't be overly bright and saturated. It will attract the eye to itself. Let's see whether the eye is too white. Definitely. So we are going to reduce that to 70. Like that. Leave it at that. Was it necessary to reduce it up to 70? Yes. Then leave it at that. Export it. Then I'll show you what this image was in the before. Then we call it an edit. I hope you can still hear me. Let it not be that my audio already went mute and all. Perfect. So this image, let me look for it. This is what it was. And this is what we have made it. Now you realize we've not done much of a difference, but we've made it more appealing, more vibrant colors, more lively. We have made the colors red, contrast with the slightly blue grays and all. We have made the skin more consistent. We have evened out the tones of the feet so that they are like the tones of the hand and all. That's what an edit is like. And now the two photos we did, here they are. Thank you for participating. If you have any questions, drop them in the comment box or pick my number, call or WhatsApp me. The number is both in the description and in the title of this video. Hit a like so that this video can be recommended to more people. I do reviews. If you have a camera review or any gear you'd like me to review in my channel, send that over. It's more, I'm excited about such reviews, provided it's something that is within my field, and I'm going to advise you how best we go about it. I'll be back with another live stream in a few. We have other very many photos to edit. I have many deliveries to do between now and Wednesday. Until then, see you. It's a good time. Remember, the best photo is the one you're going to shoot next. You shoot better photos when